just bumped into Sam. Sam is the winner of the BD100. Obviously, DNA have sponsored the BD100 for 8 years now. We're a partner. Obviously, I was very proud to give Sam the winners trophy a couple of weeks ago. So Sam, obviously introduce yourself and then just give me a little bit of background around you winning the BD100.
Yeah, sure. So I'm Sam, new business and marketing director at Joint, which is a small independent agency working with lots of big and very varied clients. So it's a very exciting brand to work for.
In regards to winning the BD100, just give us a little bit of a background to it.
Yeah, I mean, I've entered the BD100 for, I think, 5 years now, so it's something I've been aware for a really long time. I think, everyone who supports the BD100 is doing an amazing thing for new business, which is legitimising it and making it into a really valued and seen discipline, because I think it can sometimes go below the radar a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think it's an amazing thing for the industry, it's an amazing thing for BD people like me, and I think personally, we're also used to winning as our agency name, right? We're used to hiding behind an agency brand, so it feels a bit weird it being my name up there, but it's also very nice, and it's a really, gratifying thing that people are celebrating new business and, putting a bit of a spotlight on the value that it can bring to an agency. So yeah, it's been a really special thing. I did not expect to win it at all. Richard and Jodie were kind of calling me in the weeks before, and I thought it was because they hadn't sold enough tickets. So even on the night going there with that, I just didn't expect it. So to get this shout out from you and to go up on stage and receive that really proud moment, something that I can share with my mum as well, who doesn't know what I do.
Yeah. So you can actually explain to her what you do. Yeah. So, obviously it's in its eighth year now. It's got some real traction. I think everybody really resonates with it because it is BD people are the people that aren't generally they don't get the accolade, the late nights, the sort of here, there and everywhere, missing family occasions, all that sort of stuff which happens, right?
Yeah.
So why do you think you won? What was it in your application that you think was the secret sauce?
Yeah, I mean, I truly don't know. I think for me it's about creating a sustainable relationship with business development, because like you say, it can, if you're not careful, bleed into late nights, potentially all-nighters, and it's how do you create a system and a structure around your business which means you can do it for the long term without it eroding away at you. So I mean, AI tools, technology, all of those things that are coming in means that some of those bits that were more laborious or took a lot of time, you can do a lot more efficiently and a lot faster, which gives you the time to do the bits that only a human can do. So I think for me it's about putting those systems in place that makes new business sustainable, and also just thinking about new business in the bigger picture, what it gives to an agency, but also what you personally can get out of it is a really good chance to show a breadth of different skills. You can be a bit creative, you can be a bit strategic. It relies upon a lot of different strings. So I think just finding the joy in it and finding the joy in the breadth that new business offers, for me, was a really big part of what I kind of submitted in my entrance.
And obviously focusing on the human touch, which you touched upon, this is all about it, and it's offsetting the tech, the AI, the robots, whatever can make you streamline everything, but the human touch, what are those bits for you that really stand out?
Yeah, well, AI is brilliant, there's no doubt about it. It brings a lot to our job, but AI is not standing in a queue sweating in 32-degree sun, and that shared experience that only humans can have,
And meeting someone in it.
And just meeting someone, and just, chatting about what brand fan you've got, because you're comparing notes, because it's just so hot. I think those little human moments of connection that only come about through, it's informal, and it's the little moments that only humans can experience. So I really think that is key to new business, because at the end of the day it's a relationship game, and your job is to introduce people to the right people within the agency and make sure that they're doing a great job for them. And you can only do that if you really understand humans and what it is that motivates and drives people, whether that's, I think it's a scary time for marketing directors. There's a lot of change, and I think it's
and
really
agencies,
yeah. And just really understanding, the load that they've got on their shoulders and how, as an agency, you can take off some of that load. I think it's, you only get to that by talking to people, by connecting to people, and by having, conversations in an environment like this where it's more casual, it's more laid back, and you can actually have some of those real, human, authentic conversations.
Yeah, absolutely. And what do you think from a talent perspective? What are the key characteristics of an outstanding new business person? Putting you on the spot here a bit, but what do you think they are?
I think resilience is really important. The ability to get up and go again when it can feel like you're meeting brick walls or dead ends. The ability to reframe a loss as a chance to build exponentially into the next pitch and get better and improve over time. And I think with that as well, it's that learning mentality. Like, we're in an era of a huge amount of change, as I'm sure every era has gone through. But to embrace change, to be willing to learn, you should be able to embrace it, to learn about writing, to learn about tech, to learn about coding, to learn about design. And AI is a great democratizer because it gives you, anyone the chance to be good at all of those things. Maybe not great, but at least good, which is a really important thing for a new business person. So learning and listening and, just absorbing from the team around you, I think is a really big thing for a new business person to be able to do.
And if hiring for your team, what would be the key thing, one thing that you look for in someone?
I think I really look for self-starters, so people who have gone out and done something off their own back. Doesn't necessarily have to be in a work or business setting, but whether it's a blog or a hobby or a business which they've set up, like, I love people who have that tenacity and that get up and go and that ability to problem solve across a large amount of disciplines, because I think that really stands new business people in good stead.
And do you think you learn that, or do you think it's in your DNA? Do you think that's inherited from your family?
Really good question. Yeah, I think there's probably a bit of both. I think you've got to have that tenacity and that drive for winning and achieving built in. But then I think anyone could go out and learn all of these different skills, but that hunger is the key thing that I look for, which I don't think you can teach.
Yeah.
And then everything else you can build on top of that. But if you've got that hunger and that drive to go out and create something and do something, which you might have done in a personal endeavour, then bringing that into new business, that's easy. That's the easy bit. That hunger is the bit you can't teach, I don't think.
Yeah, and finally, obviously winning the BD100. Have you had clients get in touch with you and congratulate you? Have you actually won any business off the back of it yet? Are you going to leverage it as something that you're proud of?
Yeah, I think it's still quite early to tell, I mean, kind of a few weeks in, but I've just been blown away by the amount of people that have acknowledged it, really, and I think it just shows that it's really building momentum and profile, and people really recognise the BD100 as something that people, want and it's sought after. So I think just to see that, even in the last 5 years, go from something which is kind of obscure and maybe a bit unknown and, it's a new business niche, to CEOs of agencies who know about it, who are coming up in Cannes and saying congratulations.
Yeah,
I think that's really cool. Yeah, it's really cool, and it's a real testament to what the BD100 is doing, I think.
I think there's room for maybe us looking at some sort of playbook, on a winner's playbook.
100%, and the community that has formed around it is really nice as well. I mean, people who've won or been part of it, there's a really nice group, and I think there's a generosity. People are willing to share their experiences and what's working, what's not working. That sometimes we can be a bit cagey about, we don't want people to hear what's working for us. But there's a really nice spirit and mentality that comes with the other BD100 winners. So yeah, it'd be really interesting to see kind of what the common threads between all those different people is, because it's such a broad church, right? So many different types of BD.
We can definitely help with that. But once again, congratulations.
Thanks, Ali.
It was great for me to see that, because we've known each other for a long time. So well done.
Great. Thanks a lot.
Top man.
Cheers.